Okay, I am live again here. I was live yesterday. Because I was wanting to teach some classes with VIP Kid here, but today I decided why not do the same for Engoo. But this time I'm going to attempt to use Manicam on my laptop. So I don't know if it's going to be laggy or not yet. So I'm going to teach again Engoo while I'm trying to make it live. But again, I'll be using my headset, so you won't hear their side for privacy reasons. And I think here. And I don't think Engoo likes that being done. I can't, the curriculum is free. I know I said that probably in the description. I'll turn my lights on. That the curriculum, they have copyright and all that. It's actually, I think it's free. They don't. I think it's more the privacy of the student they don't want out there like that. And I see that. If the student, they don't come here to get videoed and to respect their privacy, I wouldn't want myself videoed and showed with them. Now there are some students out there, and they've had to be reported. They would take the free trial classes and record the lesson without the instructor's permission, and he was posting it on his YouTube channel like that. And so I don't know whatever happened to that. I remember seeing some people talk about that in the Facebook, one of the Engoo Facebook groups. And so I don't know whatever happened to that, but some teachers, I wouldn't like that if someone was recording me without my permission and then posting it on YouTube as a teacher here. Okay, looks like I'm getting set up here. Let me go get I have 4 students. They weren't booked until recently. I opened them up around 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Opened up 5:30, 30-minute break, 6:30, and a 7 o'clock class. And so far, they've all booked except for the 6:30 class. But it's in the red right now. Now, I've shown if you've been on one of my earlier videos, sometimes the little slots are red, and that just means that there's like a little definition at the bottom. It says that's a critical slot, meaning 90 to 100% chance of being booked. And so that time is going to be that. And I can see that being booked anyway. So we still got time for that one to get booked. Let me see if I know any of these students yet. I don't recognize the name. Okay, the first one is someone I don't know. The second one is another person I've never had. Oh, Lord. This person says, I do not choose the article by myself. Please recommend one that you think is interesting. Usually when they do that, sometimes they'll give you a bad rating because they'll tell you to choose and then say they don't like it. I haven't experienced that yet, but I think other people have. So I need to do that quickly. So I can do that. I can find something interesting. I can find anything interesting probably. All right, so it's been 15 minutes. So it looks like this person didn't cancel. So I'm gonna go ahead. What I usually do is I have the week. You can do a week view if you want. You can put a daily view. I have my daily view up, show my 4 classes here, and then I usually right click and open up a new link, like a new window, a new whatever tab, and so it's just that student's window. It tells me the information. Like this is a woman. It gives me her age. This one gives her age too. It says DMM, whatever that is. It tells me that she's in Japan or she's Japanese. She may be living somewhere else, but is Japanese, a citizen. She wants the lesson called Original Materials Describing Pictures. That one's a little challenging sometimes. That one, they have pictures, and we go over some vocabulary if they want to. And they use their time using the best English skills they have to describe these certain pictures. And I'm here, and that's one I'm usually taking a lot of notes on my side. So you'll see me taking a lot of notes for that. I've never met her, self-introduction. She wants to introduce herself, so we'll do that. Sometimes they'll say skip introductions, and I'll keep it very minimum and not even. And this is, let's focus on conversation. No need to correct my mistakes. Let's see. You'll see me take, she's had, let me see how many no-shows she's had. They're sporadic, so she may come, she may not. And so we'll see for that. I'll go ahead and open up the lesson page and put it over here. Let me see if it shows up on your side because I don't want it to be like obvious there. Make sure my camera and microphone are the ones I want. Yep, JLab, Logitech. They're not as bad. Like, you know, yesterday, the global platform for VIP kids, you have to set that every single time because it goes back to default setting. Engoo's platform does not. It keeps it the last setting you've had. Or I think actually in Google Chrome, you can set it yourself what you want default to be. That's not part of Engoo. That's just part of Google Chrome. You can do that with. So I have this microphone and this Logitech or Logitech. I'll say Logitech camera as the default. So anytime I do that, and if those aren't there, and then it knows to go to another, whatever they can find. I'm gonna go get me a soda real quick. Right back. Now these ones, let me sit down first. These ones can be a little challenging because you don't know what, you know, the title. I know this is going to choose the materials called, you know, describing pictures, but I don't know which of the many they have out there that she's going to choose. So when I see the lesson, when it pops up here on my screen, is the first time I've ever seen it for that. Only time I can kind of repeat is if like they choose daily news because those are listed chronologically, and so usually they'll try to pick one of the newest ones. And they all seem interested in the same topic. There's always like one or two topics that they all like to choose almost. So every so often we'll get one who wants a specific topic. They can search for that, and it'll be an older article. But usually they'll just pick whatever's more current and seems interesting to them. Okay, so let's see. If you won't, but I know I will. I have a template. Since these are new, I keep a template when I do my feedback, and I just key in like their name and some things that, you know, they did well or they want to improve on. Something different they do, of course, that you give them feedback, and you're expected to give at least 2 sentences and 2 words that they can work on. And usually for words, if they do very well, I just choose 2 vocabulary at random. Or if it's something that I first met them, I'll keep note during the thing, and I'll like make note of. As soon as I find a word that they've mispronounced or they have a question about, I'll like take a note over here and I'll put that in the words. And I think for sentences, you're supposed to like do more grammar, like what kind of grammar they need to work on. But usually for that, I'll like use those 2 words in a sentence. You're not limited to 2. You have to do at least 2 sentences, at least 2 words. For a while there, people were putting like NA, and then I think they put out something saying to quit doing that because students weren't liking that. Now some students, I don't even think some students don't even read it. Just like VIP Kid, we always suspected some parents didn't read our feedback. And I think it's even more for this one. Some people, not a lot, very, very, for me, my personal experience, it's been much better than most people have said about. Of course, people want to complain on social media. They're not going to put the good things, but how that they get most people who will are being forced by their company to be here. So they do the time, go on, don't even read the feedback. I'm going to get a better pen. I don't like this one. It's one of those free pens you get at a hotel. It's a Sheraton. You'd think Sheraton had like a better pen, but yeah. Let's see if this pen writes a little bit better. Oh, okay. 7 minutes, 15 seconds. What I like about Engoo at the end, and there's a little message, like when time is up, I go for 25 minutes, a little message will pop up on the screen on my side and their side. You know, class is over, say your goodbyes or something like that. used to be this, they saw it and we didn't, and then suddenly, like, I can't remember how long ago it's been, that also now pops up on the teacher side. And usually a lot of them are very like, oh, it's time to go. Like, time to go. Oh, time's up. Okay, thank you very much. And they leave. During the training, this is something different from what I used to from VIP Kid. They encourage you let the student leave first. Don't leave the student before they leave. Don't leave the student hanging there. So make sure they leave first before you leave, just in case they have any questions or anything like that. So that's what I always do for Engoo. VIP Kid with its children, sometimes it's kind of awkward if you tried that. They would just sit and look at you. Want to play tic-tac-toe, they don't know what to leave. So it's a little different for VIP Kid. But for here in Engoo, well, even the children in Engoo, I've seen them leave, they always leave first. Another thing, when it gets to 28 minutes, the system will automatically close the class out. So you're both gone, and there's no like, students are trying to push you over that and make you late. There's no fear having to make sure you get to the next class. Whether you're done or not, at 28 minutes, the platform here will close the class off. It'll say class is over. Boom. I think you need a little reminder saying give feedback or something. With Engoo, you have 24 hours. Yes, these notes will be sent to, here's the student's name, and need to be submitted within 24 hours of the lesson time. VIP Kid gets 12 hours. This one gives you 24 hours. I almost forgot one time because it was late at night. I was like, okay, I got 24 hours. I'm just going to go to bed, do this in the morning. I have some time at the office tomorrow. And then I did that, woke up, went to work because I've never done that. And went to work. I was sitting at home one day. And when you open up, there's like a little 0 beside your name. That means it's green, you're good. I opened it up that night. It was red and there's a 1 beside my name. I was like, oh, crap. And so I barely made it. I don't know what the penalty is, though. I don't know. I couldn't read anything. I don't remember anything in training about penalties. And I'm pretty sure, I'm going to go through the Facebook group at some point. There were people who said they just like put something there in the box just as far as it sent it on. And some people who just never gave feedback. I don't know what that does, what kind of penalty that would give. I don't want to try it. Even though they don't pay us a lot, I still think, I want to give the student the best experience I can without going too much. You have some students who will want you to proofread their college paper or go this outlandish thing. They want you to have all this prep work ready, and we're just like, no, they don't pay us enough to do that. And there's been times where I just canceled a lesson before because they put something in the remarks what they would like, and it was so complicated. I just canceled the lesson. With Engoo, you can't go beyond 4% cancellations per month. So if you go above that, Dairy Queen, what's this? I'll Scott Deep with Dairy Queen. I was like, I want to hear why they if you do it 1 month, they're not going to, because I've done it 1 month before. I went over 4%. I think it's like 5%. And now if you do it multiple months, is when you start getting your warnings. If you go exuberant, like 10% or anything like that, I'm sure they do it case by case basis. If you don't only teach 2 classes and you miss 1, it's 50%. But they give you a month to make up with it, I think, but they don't want it to happen like over multiple times. So that's a good thing though. If you teach a lot of classes, that gives you a lot of cancellations and no-shows. You still get penalized no matter what, with monetary wise, but there's no penalty when it comes to your contract. As long as you stay below that 4% mark each month, you're fine. So if you teach a few classes a month, it's going to be more of a impact on you as opposed to someone who teaches maybe 300 per month or 100 per month. So if you teach 100 per month, you can make 4 cancellations a month and you're fine. If you teach 200, you can do 8 a month. That gives a lot of leeway. And some people use those. If there's a student they just don't like, they just can't cancel it. Or there's something. I've never done that. I have canceled because of either a time conflict or I opened up my schedule and not realizing I had another obligation in person I needed to do. Or I've just been tired and I read the remarks where they wanted this big complicated thing. And I just said, I'm just not having that. And so I would just cancel the lesson. And I've never abused my cancellations. That's probably only once or twice I've done that. I've never canceled because of someone's age or someone's gender, anything like that. And all but like maybe 2 times, it's always been something legitimate, or I've had a no-show, I've accidentally overslept, or something like that. So, okay. With this one, there's no like VIP kid. You can hear the kid in the background. Sometimes the camera's on. You can see them all getting ready. Here, there's not. So I don't know if they're there or not until that bloop pops up, and then you're just kind of sitting there. And sometimes it takes like a few seconds for the connection to happen for both of you. And that's that though. But she wants self-introductions. What I'll do is I'll take some notes as she's talking about herself, and then there's something called tutoring notes underneath her profile here. I'll type those in there, and then I'll put like today's date, what lesson we had, and then some notes about that, so that I can look back later if I have her again. Then I'll know, about her, and there's no need to go into like reintroducing herself, and I can maybe ask some things like maybe she'll tell me something that, I have something to tell me like in 2 weeks I'm doing this, and I'll know to ask them that in the conversation next time. So let me put my headset in here. But yeah. So again, you'll see me doing more time compared to yesterday, because with Engoo, you don't see the lesson until the student logs in. And sometimes you don't even then. Sometimes they haven't chosen what they've wanted yet. I'm trying to make this so you don't see the student's camera, because it's actually on this side, like right here. It'll come right here. And that's kind of their privacy. They don't like that. It says 15 seconds now before they see if they come or not. Hope she does. If she doesn't, then I'll wait my 15 minutes to get my promotion. Let's see if she arrives to the class today. Oh, started. Oh, I need to turn on my speed test. She hasn't come into the class yet. They have a specific place they want you to go to do a speed test, and you have to set it to Tokyo server. So I had that. I almost forgot to do that. I'll go ahead and run that now. I like to do like cover your butt type thing, where I'll let that run while she's not in here yet, and I'll be able to document that here just in case you never know what they're going to say. Speed check, and if she shows up while I'm doing this, no big deal. I'll just talk to her. It's called speedtest.net is what they want you to go to do these, and they want you to connect to a Tokyo server. Yeah, my microphone's still off, which is fine. And so it's going to be a little bit what you would have, because again, you're going to unless you live in Tokyo. But I live on the east side here, so of the United States. Okay. Copy the web link that they give you. Oops. Here. Speed of the student has not arrived to the class. That just documents there just in case someone tried to blame me or something. That's never happened, but working with VIP kids, and working in the school system in general, you learn to document everything. She's not here yet. She may arrive. It does look like she has some no-shows scattered here and there, so it's not unlike her to not arrive. But with Engoo, we have to wait. We have to wait 15 minutes. The course will close itself down. In 15 minutes, it'll close the class, and it'll say class closed. Something to do with class closed because the student didn't show or something. You'll be paid. Enjoy your time off. So it'll do that. Okay, wait to 22-minute mark. They do a countdown as opposed to, they used to do a count up, but now I think VIP Kid does the count up. Engoo used to count up. Now they count down, starting at 25 minutes, which means at the 10-minute mark is when it'll register as a no-show. Oh, good morning, my class. It's in 1 minute since it is 5 a.m. here. Oh, yeah. Oh, is it 5 a.m. there? Wow. So in Japan, if this is Japan, it is 6 a.m. in Japan where she is. I'm assuming she's in Japan because it's the DMM. But yeah, good morning to you too. Good evening. It's 5 p.m. where I am. So, of course, you probably knew that. If you're still here, have you ever had someone? I know I've seen bad horror stories of people here, like students want you to choose the article because they don't want to. And I've always heard like they've done that and then they like criticize what you've chosen. I've never had that happen, but I've seen like the Facebook groups talk about how students have asked the teachers to choose an article or choose a topic, then they criticize that they just didn't like it. But again, you remember the VIP Kid Facebook groups. You had to take those with a grain of salt as well because it was just, I feel like just people complaining all the time. So, but there are some, you have some students who are, most of my, I'd say 98% of my students have been pleasant with Engoo. So I've not had any horrible. I had one recently. She got mad because she wanted to upload a PDF for us to read together, but for some reason it wasn't uploading, and she just was like, "There's no point in having class. I'm leaving," and she left. I was like, "Okay." So I messaged tutor support and let them know what happened, and they asked me just to stay for the entire class until it was canceled. I think eventually they canceled it or something. Like, oh, okay, well then, bye-bye. I didn't know what to tell her. So, I've had that happen. I think of the classes I've had, how many, that's really one of the few I can think of. I've had some try to be kind of arrogant, but, I know I sound like I have a Southern accent, but I can burst out the vocabulary if they want me to do that, and I've had to do that before to blow their minds, just keep some good, like, complex vocabulary in your back pocket for those ones who try to trip you up. For that, I don't know what I guess they think we're just, none of us are, I don't know what they think. I know the requirements, unlike VIP Kid, Engoo doesn't require a college degree, a 4-year degree. I know that, but I don't know what they're thinking. They just, she's not shown up yet, and she may show up late. Who knows? That happens a lot. Actually, more than I think would happen. But I thought about doing a live with. I don't teach for Italki. I tried to actually recently. I looked on there, and they're actually not needing. They give you a list of languages they need taught, and English. They have plenty of those right now. They don't need any more English teachers, and so I have taken classes from teachers on Italki. I've enjoyed it. So I thought about doing that, maybe asking the teacher on Italki if they mind if I recorded it, because I would never record without permission. And like I said, there was a student who was getting free trial classes from Engoo, and then he would record his experience with the teacher, and he would post it on his YouTube channel. This was a student of Engoo, not a teacher of Engoo. I would never do that to somebody. That's kind of mean to do that. And it's an invasion, not really an invasion of privacy. I shouldn't say that because we're on camera here. But yeah, I would like to do that. I've had good experiences with Italki as a student. I've never been a teacher there. That's another language learning I've thought about doing, but it's rather expensive. Lingoda. Has anyone ever done Lingoda? It's more expensive, I think, but I've heard good things from other people. But just like I was talking about with the YouTube channel, with the Facebook groups, people all the time are negative. I feel like YouTubers who talk about Lingoda will speak it up just so you'll use their referral code or whatever like that. I don't know. Oh, thank you for the like. So Lingoda is another language site. I don't know if they're hiring or not either. But with them, you can either take a class privately or with a group of up to 5 students. They've got them priced differently. So if you take a group class, it's cheaper than taking a one-on-one class. And I don't know if they pay, how they're paid on the teacher sides for that. So. But I really do need to improve my Spanish, and of course, Duolingo is not the most efficient way. Well, I like Duolingo. Duolingo gets a bad rap, but I like using Duolingo. I know I'm not going to be fluent just in Duolingo, but right now I'm rambling. Okay, we're at the 16-minute, 30-second mark. So 6 minutes, 30 seconds. This will be marked as a no-show, and then we'll have 15-minute break before the next one. And you get paid for it. You get paid for no-shows. It's the same pay as you would for if you taught the course. I think Native Camp you don't. I think it's like a lot less pay. Of course, I think Native Camp don't pay very much at all anyway. I know their sudden bookings are like $4 and something if you're a native speaker. Their book classes, however, my contract says for $9 per class, but I've only had like maybe 2 booked classes since I started with them in January or December, maybe. Maybe it's like November. I don't know. But, and the whole thing is you need to do a lot of sudden bookings and they'll like your classes, but there's a package they sell their students where they can have as many sudden bookings as they want. And it's the same lesson as a booked class. So if they get a teacher they like, they have to really, really like you. And if that's the case, they can buy a class with a non-native speaker and pay a lot. They would have to have just money to burn and really want a native speaker and really like that teacher to book them. I think they do. If not, they can just choose random sudden bookings and as much as they want. I think there's some that actually do nothing but sudden bookings and take all kinds of classes. I think I might do one day. Just keep my contract up with. Might do one this evening. I need to go to the laundromat though. So after the about 7:30, after that class, 7 to 7:30, someone's booked. I think I'll do that. Get my laundry done for the week. I have a dryer, but I don't have a washing machine here at the house. I rent this house here, so it's not my house. It's a good house though. So. Time goes slower when you're waiting for a student, I feel like. 14-minute, 10-second mark now. So about 4 minutes, I will have a show. Let's check this other person's record of attendance here. Okay, they will be in class. They've shown they have no shows. So they'll be here. So count on that. And no one's booked my 6:30 class yet. Oh, she's here. She's here. Hello, how are you? It's okay. Oh, okay, I understand. Sometimes that happens. My PC does the same thing sometimes. So, how was your day? Or morning. Oh, I see. Awesome. Would you like to tell me about yourself, or would you like for me to go first? You want me to go first? I'm sure I can go first. I like to type as I talk to. So my name is Jason, and I live in the United States of America. In particular, I live in the state of West Virginia. It's on the east side of the country, about halfway up, and I'm close to like Washington, D.C. or Pittsburgh, like that. There is a popular song, I always tell everybody, Country Roads. Country roads, take me home. If you've heard that song before, that is about my home state of West Virginia. I work full-time as a university professor, and I work part-time with language companies like DMM. I like YouTube and Netflix and cooking, and I like taking road trips. Just getting in the car and traveling to different parts of the country sometimes. And that's me. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Tell me about you. Oh, Rosie. Awesome. Oh, good. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Easy music, relaxing. Yeah, I like those. Wow. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. I see. I see. Awesome. Awesome. You're doing very good. Anyway, I did the same thing. You said you majored in English Lit, but it's been so long ago you forgot. I majored in biology, but there are so many things I forgot because I never worked in that field of biology. So I used to be a science teacher. My first job was a science teacher. After that, I never taught science again. So I forgot a lot of things too. It's okay. Awesome. So, what would you like for us to do today? What would you like for us to do today? Yeah. Okay. Um, okay. We could do that. Shocking news. Oh. Oh, shocking news. And the first thing is OMG. Good, good. Do you need to go over the vocabulary first or do the picture? Okay. Okay, we can look at the book. Huh? Okay. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Okay. Whenever you're ready, go ahead. Could be that. Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. That's very, very good. I probably would have said the stock market probably fell terribly instead of fall terribly to show that it already happened. Everything else was great. You described in very good detail. This picture reminds me, have you ever seen the picture of the three monkeys of speak no evil, hear no evil, see no evil? You ever seen that? It's like a picture of, I think they're monkeys or little kids. I can't remember what they are. Like this. That's what it looks like. Speak no evil, hear no evil, see no evil. There's a saying like that. Speak no evil, hear no evil, and see no evil. I think it's in different order though. That's a common thing here. They say about keeping yourself safe for that, and that's what they remind me of. Looking at those three people, so maybe they're seeing something very bad. They're doing that. Yeah. So they're very shocked. So it could be the stock market. I think so. Since they're in the office setting, maybe the prices fell tremendously. So, good. Any questions about this picture? So, let's look at this child here. I don't want to hear it. Looks like maybe her mom is scolding her. I don't know. So what would you say about this picture, the second picture here? Mm-hmm. Good, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, looks like she's holding her ear so she doesn't hear anything. Maybe something is this. I would probably say this is also maybe an older photo, or it's meant to look older because of the typewriter and the phone there like that. Because I know I've asked children today, they don't know what a typewriter is. I say typewriter, like, what is a typewriter? And so I would say if it's meant to look vintage. Her vest, I would probably mention that too. It looks, I would say a checkered colored vest. Yeah, I'll probably say that. I've been describing her. And her hair is in pigtails. She has those are pigtails. Yep. That's what they call that. That's what they call that hairstyle. A lot of girls, that's popular for young girls like that. Very good. Good. Any questions about this photo? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Today, you never know. You never know. And so, Yes, very, very, very. Yes, I agree. It's a very sensitive problem. And so, but yeah, but yeah, it does. And we call that face grimace face. Yeah, grimace face. Yeah, grimace face. Awesome. But I thought you did very well today. I know. What I like is that you add a story to the pictures too. Now, most students don't do that. There is a phone, there's a typewriter, she has shirt, she has wall. And so you were able to use really good English to put a story with it. I like that. Very, very complex. Very, very good. Awesome. Any questions you have for me? Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. I work in the education department of our university, and so my students are wanting to become teachers. I specialize in special education, and so I teach them how to work with students with disabilities. Yeah. Mhm. Yes. I work in that area. So. Oh. Well, thank you very much. That used to not be the case because when I first started teaching, my international students would say, "Oh my God, he speaks too fast," and they wanted to leave. But I've had to practice a lot of slowing down. So, well, thank you very much, and it was very good to meet you, and I hope to see you again. Thank you. Bye bye. That probably wasn't a good one to have as a first, because the ones where you're describing pictures, you probably just hear because the microphone, but that bottle's in the way. But describing, it's a lot of their talking. So from your angle of me, it looks like I'm just sitting here looking at the screen. But she was actually describing these two pictures, and we only had time for a little bit because she showed kind of late, and so she is an after-school elementary English teacher teaching English and kanji, like a type of like in Japanese writing, kanji writing to elementary children. And she was talking about she was an English lit major years ago. I think she's in her late 50s, early 60s. And so, but she forgot a lot of English literature. And I said, that's okay. I was a biology education major, but I've only taught science 1 year. I did teach virtual science, like at the beginning of the pandemic. West Virginia Virtual School hired me to teach virtual biology. But okay, and I'll put her notes in after this. I don't have time for it. I guess I could, but I don't want to hear. This person wants me to select an article, so I will select an article while they are, that's what it says here. And this one says skip introductions, start right away. So I will ask basic questions. You'll see me write things down, but sometimes when they're talking or relating the story to themselves, whatever, I'll get little notes I can put here so I recognize them next time I see them. Okay. Video games may increase your child's IQ. Google Translate adds 24 languages, including, I don't know, most attractive city tours. I like all of these, really. Tokyo recognizes same-sex unions. Naps may improve children's literacy. See, I love a nap. I may either do the video games, the Google Translate, or the naps. And it's according to what level they are because they can get from levels. It's 1 to 10, but I think most of these fall between like 5 to 8. I've seen a few 9s there. Because if they're like a level 4 or 3, usually they're not ready for discussion and reading of an article like that. Trying to find more recent, but there was some here from like a year ago. Most attractive cities. Which dog breeds live the longest? Succession star glues hand to Starbucks counter in protest. That sounds awful. Woman earned $35 charity shop fine. Oh, she learned something. Zelensky's jacket sold for more than $100,000. I think I'm gonna do either the video game, the naps, or Google Translate. One of those three. because I haven't read those yet. They sound interesting. Let's see what it looks like. That. I hope they didn't repeat. I like when they do repeat. It's time for me to do a cereal. Oh, hello. Good. I'm doing well. Good evening here. And good morning to you. How are you today? Well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. What's your name? Pikachu. Okay, awesome. And my name is Jason. I live on the east side of the United States, close to Washington, D.C. Nice to meet you. Good, good. Awesome. And so I see you'd like to do daily news today. Okay. I was looking at some here that I thought looked interesting. Either the video game, the Google Translate, or the naps. I love naps. So when people, okay. I think I will look at the, I'm into children's literacy a lot, so I may choose the nap one. I teach education classes at a university, and so I'm training future teachers. Of course, the video games look interesting too. So any of these are fine with you? Anything is okay with you? Anything? Okay. Okay. Well, let's try the video game one. Sounds interesting, more entertaining, I think. uh, good. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think so. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 I've heard that too. They used to tell me that too many video games will turn your brain into mashed potatoes. And so this is it turned your brain into mashed potatoes. Too many video games. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. I agree. And there are some, I know in our school systems here, they're experimenting with a video game software to teach children mathematics. And so instead of having lecture and textbooks all the time, they learn through playing video games. And so they increase their math skills with games like that. That'd be very interesting. So would you like for us to read the article or repeat the article? How would you like to proceed? That works. Excellent. Okay. Mhm. 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 Yeah. Yep. Good. No question. That's perfect. 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 I'll be right here. Mhm. 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 I like this sentence here. Does that mean let your kid play video games as much as you want? I'm glad. Any questions about anything in the article? Mhm. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Half. Yeah, yeah, half an hour. Go ahead. In the United States, they use them all. Some of them, when they sign up, they lie about their age. And so they'll have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, all of those. They'll look at those, and you'll see a lot of them, even during school, they'll bring their cell phones to school with them and be on social media on the phone like that. During recess, they'll be on that sometimes. So there are a lot. I'm surprised it's only half an hour is an average, because I've seen students be on them for hours and hours at a time. So. Mm-hmm. Correct. Yeah. Now, yes, and social media is kind of a very broad term. So I'm trying to see here what they mean. Like some people say, like YouTube. Like for example, YouTube can be considered social media sometimes. TikTok, or so. Uh, it could be. It could be because they need to specify that, because videos could be either like Netflix or watching video. Of course, I don't think children watch CDs anymore or DVDs anymore. And so they may be online videos, or it could be TikTok videos, but TikTok is also a social media, and Instagram is the same too. Instagram has videos, but they're also, yeah, it's they need to be more specific with their research, I think, in this article of what is either one. Um, they didn't specify. But if we are using those as social media, then they're on YouTube all day long. Even at nighttime when they're in bed, they're on their phones. And some people, like when they play video games, some video games have their own social media platform as well, Twitch and all that stuff. Oh, so maybe you are raising some geniuses now. They're going to be very super intelligent people, adults, when they get older. Mm-hmm. We're good. Good. It could have had an effect. So maybe them wanting to play video games allowed their ranking to go higher in school. I play video games a lot, so I thought I did very well. Awesome, awesome. So would you want to go to questions or look at discussions? Yeah, I think most people skip the questions. And so we've already talked about our thoughts on the findings, I think. But so did you find it surprising though that it does raise their IQ? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mhm. I remember speaking with an occupational therapist, and she said the same thing, how they're using both physical, tactile abilities, mental abilities, cognitive, intellectual, all that working together the whole time helps improve their intelligence and their cognitive abilities. So she was promoting that too. So, oh. So yeah, go ahead. Hmm. Me too. Yeah. Hmm. Oh wow. Okay. Mhm. Yes. They don't like it. I can understand. I played it when I was younger, but and I like chess. But most children I've noticed today don't like chess. They say it's very boring. I don't know why. So what were your favorite games? You said Mario Brothers was your favorite game growing up. Yeah, yeah. When you were a kid, what was your favorite game? Mhm. Yeah. Hmm. Oh yes. Mhm. Did you ever play the Mario role playing game? It's an old game, probably Super Nintendo. Um, yeah, I remember Mario Brothers had their own role playing game at one point. Um, it was called Mario RPG. I think it was on Super Nintendo. I remember I was in university when that came out. I think I never played it either. I wasn't big on role playing games. I was good Mario Brothers, and I still play them today on my Switch sometimes. So you do have. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Mm, yes, that's my favorite. My favorite character on. I always misspell his name. I always played as him on Street Fighter. The guy from India, he stretched. Chun Li. Okay, yeah, Chun Li from China. her leg would go like that. And she was very strong. And they say she was one of the strongest on the game still today. Okay, so how many hours per day do you let your kids play video games? How about during school days? It maybe an hour or during school days? Okay. Hmm. Yeah. Mhm. When I was younger, I would try to do my homework, but I would play video games and turn the volume off, so my parents would thought I was studying. And I would play video games for hours and hours. So, okay, so do you spend more time on social media, watching TV, or gaming? Mhm. Yes. Okay. Okay. Well, after you work all day, it's sometimes relaxing to do that. So I see that. And social media, I feel like I'm on social media too much. I think like Facebook or Instagram or YouTube. But usually, instead of watching TV, I will watch something on YouTube all day. I'll find things to watch there. Not so much movies and TV dramas anymore. I don't. Hmm. Oh, okay. I like learning about Japanese culture on YouTube. I'm not going to learn Japanese. Japanese is very difficult. I tried and I didn't do very well. But I like learning because I like to visit Japan one day. So that's one of my goals. So what was your favorite way to spend your time when you were a kid? Mhm, mhm. Yeah, yeah. What about you? Mhm. Yeah. Mhm, mhm. Yeah, me too. I didn't have internet until I was a senior in high school. My final year of high school is when I think we got internet in my home. Um, but other than that, I don't remember. I was always internet at school or the library had internet. We did that. So I wasn't really big on the internet then either until probably university. But video games too for me. Nintendo mostly and Sega, Genesis like that. So what were your best subjects in school? Mm-hmm. Me too. Mhm. I like science, but I like biology. So I went to university and studied biology. I didn't care much for chemistry and physics and biochemistry. They like it. Awesome. Do you have any questions for me? Okay. Well, it's very good to see you. You have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye. And that one was one the article I chose was at a level 6, and so I think that was a prepper for him. But he did do great. He loved to speak, so you saw me just sitting here quiet a lot because that was him speaking. We're not supposed to interrupt when they're speaking when they're doing that, so I don't interrupt. It's sometimes difficult to find a place to jump in because sometimes they'll stop talking and you think they're finished, and you don't want to just sit there and sit there and sit there. And so instead of just jumping in like that, sometimes I'll jump in and then realize they're not finished talking. That's when you see me do that earlier. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I give the signal saying for them to continue talking. So now I've got like a 30-minute thing here between this and see if anybody ever booked it. My 6:30. Yep, somebody booked my 6:30 class. Do I know them? Nope, I don't. Oh God, and they want to do that TOEFL. That test is, yeah. I think I'm getting of the classes I could have gotten today they're not very conducive to be on YouTube Live. So you're not going to get to see a true thing. These TOEFL classes are, I don't like them. This would be one I would consider canceling, but I'm not going to because I don't want to do that. Because, yeah, the students are already stressed a lot anyway because they're having to complete this TOEFL test, and she's from Japan, and so they're kind of like not really, jovial mood. I guess you could say not jovial is the right term to use for that. But yeah, I guess it would be. Because there's no discussion hardly. It's very boring. So I hate when I choose that. I haven't had one in a while. Let's see if this last one. Maybe the last one will be our redeeming person. That will. Original daily news. Okay. This one chose daily news, but he wanted to read it all himself, which is fine. I think it's great. They want to attempt that. But okay. I'm gonna do some notes. Works as an after school teacher of elementary, teaching English, and I'll ask about kanji. I was supposed to go back to Cancellations. Go back. Kanji writing. Majored in English lit years ago, but says she's forgotten a lot of it since. Okay. She likes listening to easy, relaxing music, and she's wanting to improve her English speaking skills. Okay. That's little excerpts I'll know about her next time. And I'll put some notes about today. 2022. We did open up her page. I always put like the lesson title or free conversation. It's that. This one was called Describing Pictures, Shocking News, Intermediate, Describing Pictures. I'll copy and paste that here. At a level 5. Level 5. Very late. I'll put that because I'll know next time why we didn't get very much. Only had time for 2 pictures. She does well. Good speaking skills. Friend. Who's friend? I wonder if like any of these two are going because she was late and this other guy. You can always have that sense of you don't know. I've had a lot where I didn't think they liked me very well, and then they end up giving me like a 5-star with a good comments. I don't know. You never know. Sometimes you think you rocked their socks off, And then they grimace. We did some. I taught her about grimacing, grimace, and I told her about pigtails. And so I've had some. I thought I blew it out of the water. Then they'll like give you 4 stars with no comment. So I knew the child was upset because she had. I make it. Okay. A popular hairstyle for young girls is to do pigtails. Okay. And I will feedback done for this person. They take a little longer if they're new because, again, I got to put information. I don't have to, but I like to put information about the student. Here I'll put in big letters, no intro. It'll let me know that what I've got here is just things I picked up just from listening to him speak about things. I know he lives in Japan. He has kids who enjoy playing video games a lot, but they rank high in school. That's all I know. He's friendly, but sometimes they give you a little bit more information than that. He didn't give a lot, and he chose no. And I can see the point. At first I was like, God, I just don't want to talk. But I can see if you're learning a language and you're having to introduce yourself over and over, and they can get tedious. I don't like to do it, and so I'm not upset at all if they don't like to do that. It's good. It takes up time, which is sometimes good for some people because you have some students who you are like milking every minute trying to get that because you don't know what to do. After you find yourself 5 minutes still there and you're having to expand. If they don't introduce them, especially the ones who don't speak very well, you're having to do a lot. And this was a level 6 red. So I like to also identify if they want to if they want to repeat after an instructor or if they want to read on their own so that knows the next time I can offer that. If I see them again, I'll say, would you like to read alone? Or would you like to read on your own again? Or I'd say like the next time, what would I say? Oh, the last time you repeated after me, would you like to do it this way again? So I'll make a note of that in the tutoring notes, what they did, if they chose to read on their own or did they choose to repeat after me. And he chose to read both the vocabulary and article on his own, which actually the vocabulary he skimmed through. I'll put that in parentheses, skimmed through the vocab. And I'll know to expect that next time. Reads well, good pronunciations, grammar. He did well like that too, so. Let's get my templated notes out here. Articles. I have one for my first one. I have like one template for if it's the first time we did an article, then another one if it's another activity like free conversation or if they choose the picture thing. But for him, he actually kind of knew all of these. So this was when, did I make any notes on him? I don't know if there were, well, I'll just use social media. I guess social media is something we had to, but there's really not a lot of vocabulary that threw him off. And so I just have to choose one at random at the list of vocabulary. Suggest, intelligence, psychological factor, mental. See, those are all things that none of those threw him off, so I don't know. And I don't know if he reads the, let's see here, IQ. I can just put IQ, what IQ means, intelligent quotient. Quotient, I missed out. Maybe if I'll spell it. Adults and children spend too much time on social media. Students, intelligence, quotient, IQ can have an effect on their performance in school. Okay, that sounds like a good sentence there. And so now I've got two feedbacks. submitted there. My next one, let me close this out. I had the student at 6:30, so the 25 minutes here. I'm gonna go do some things, and I know there's someone here right now. I'll be right back. I actually have a little thing here I've prepared. Oh, there I am. Right back. Is that backwards on your side? Probably not. Oh, okay, I'm back here. Turn this off here. Alrighty, here we are. Anyway, I had to go do something that I can do between classes. You have to take care of yourself. And so, oh, everybody's offline here now. At least I got a light here so far. Yeah, those two. The second one you saw me do some. The first one, she was late, and it was a lot of me just listening to her. I think the one next is going to be a lot of me just sitting here too. That's why I think that's not going to be a very good fit for this video. So like the next class, they haven't counted yet. So let's see the 15-minute mark is going to happen at the moment. But it's not going to be a very good one to watch because you're going to see just again me just sitting there. Because there's a lot of the time where I'll be timing them as they'll have like 1 minute to write a response, and then they'll have to give their own little presentation. Then I'll correct it. Yeah, and then it's a lot of this. So it's not like if you're familiar with VIP Kid, you're not like you saw me yesterday. I wasn't all over the place, but I was more loud, animated. It was constant interaction. This one is constant interaction, but it's just like speaking to another adult. And so, which because it is usually as another adult. And this might actually be most of my TOEFL. Yeah, it's a 15-minute mark. Let me see what they've done. They're still there. I'm hoping they changed their mind and not choose a. It looks like it's all they choose is the speaking tests. I hate the speaking tests. See if they're done. They've done vocabulary, so they don't even do the article. So, yeah. So, let me open it up and look at it, see what I need to do. And for this one, I don't think it's just like the other ones. They don't have one already open and prepared, but it's been a while since I've done a TOEFL. TOEFL. Okay, so they have the actual test they want to complete up already. So for this one, there's exercises here. The first one is, say, teachers note, first play the audio, then give the student a cue when preparing, when to start preparing and when to start speaking. So I'll play the audio, and you won't hear that. So it'd be me just listening to the audio, and they're listening to the audio. And then, let me see. After I play it, they have 15 seconds to prep what they want to respond to. And then they'll answer one of these two questions here. So let's see. Okay, then give the student a cue when to start preparing, when to start speaking, and when their time is up. Okay, so they'll look at one of these. Okay, they will give them a choice of one or two. People prefer to socialize with their friends at home. People prefer their friends at home. Others like to use details. What's the difference? I don't. Okay, talk about the advantage and disadvantage of socializing with friends at other places. Okay, one's at home. Okay, so apparently I haven't listened to this one. So apparently it's about do they want to socialize at home or at other places. So when they make their choice, they have 15 seconds to come up with the response and then 45 seconds to provide their response. And they give me an example one here. So after I do this, then we go over it. I will copy and paste the sample response into the chat for them to look at later. Most of the time they enjoy that. The second part is, okay, next two questions. You'll read the first passage and then you'll listen. So I'll give them 50 seconds to read this text. I will play the audio, and then I'll give them the cue when to start prepping and when to start speaking and when their time is up. Same thing, it's just a different kind of format there. Same thing for this one about global cooling. And then the fourth one is play the audio, give the student when to start preparing. They have 20 seconds when the time is up. Use the points from the example to give two benefits that are provided by community. There's a lot of that. It's very standardized, and I think you can actually. I don't know if TOEFL you can because I think that's actually a trademark thing. I don't know. yeah, there's like a little registered R circle thing. So they may not give you access to that unless you are a student of DMM, Engoo, whatever. And so, but I don't think it's one of the free resources they have there. What's this here? What's going on here? I don't care about that. I have 11 minutes. You ever get texts from people you just don't answer? This one, so it could be 6:30. So 7:30, I'll be finished. It'll be kind of early. I would do more if I didn't have so much laundry to do. So I need to go to the laundromat. If it's busy, then I'll know what I'll do. I'll go have dinner somewhere. Oh. Number 8. These last 2 lives have not been me in front of the camera, it's been me just kind of doing what I do when I have these classes. I found an egg roll in the refrigerator. It's not old, so don't think it's been there for years or anything like that. I had Chinese food Sunday. I had it on Thursday, so it's not old. So I'll let it cool down some. I got some teriyaki sauce. I put it in a little cup. Let that cool down. I said like 8 minutes, but I don't want to eat on. Well, I'll eat on camera. I'll carry it in front of you all. And so, yeah, it's not. So you can see the Engoo is not bad, but let me see if my ratings changed from the last 2. It's not a good idea to do this when you're starting out. You probably want to just see where you are because it's more influenced by ratings, but doesn't look like they've either rated or they haven't. So I don't know what's going on there. They probably sometimes they don't. Sometimes they don't have. They don't give you anything. My fan pulled down. Okay, pull my head pull down. This one says, yep, they do want to do self-introduction, so I will do this. Their name is, I don't know their Engoo is not the last name. Kohhei. And it is DMM, so it looks like they are from Japan or Japanese descent or somewhere else. I just noticed you probably see the screen there. That's what the screen looks like as you're waiting. Looks like that, or actually like this here. This is the lesson. Right here's where the student's picture will go. Mine is like a little box right there, like when it does on this screen. This is where the chat is, chat note dictionary. This is where the actual lesson is here. Just go all the way to the top. It's just like that's the student's picture, the student's video. There's my video, and then that's the whole thing is the chat there. And they don't have to turn their cameras on. You know, VIP Kid, the students are expected to have their cameras on, but with Engoo, and the same thing with Native Camp, they don't have to. We have to as teachers, but they don't. And that's their option to do that. You know, to me, it kind of sucks the energy out of the room when they don't have it on, because I'm just speaking to no one, and I don't like them. Like when I turn, like when the course starts and I see there's no, and I see they've chosen not to turn the camera on, I'm just like, oh, okay. But oh well, you make the best of it. Maybe my brain isn't going if I eat on camera. But there's a lot of people who make really good living eating on camera here. I need to put that away so you don't see that. Engoo's the type that would just like pull your contract and not tell you about it until like sometime later. We're really funny about things. My head roll. I have 3 minutes. And I act like it's like, now, and sometimes these are good. These are good students. They're really serious. They want to improve, to pass this TOEFL test. But again, I usually prefer daily news because it leads to more discussion on things like that. I'm trying to think of ones I don't like. There is one I don't like, but I can't think of it off the top of my head right now. I usually remember that I don't like it when they choose that one. So much shiny on my video right now. So that's really good. Let's see what 13 and 3 is. They have a good attender. So they will be here. I should hit the egg roll, now I got hiccups. Oh. Remember yesterday I was getting to the end of my VIP kit classes and I was just kind of winding down and not saying very much. And I'm doing that now, I think. Okay, 50 seconds till we start. This is one, and again, if you've noticed, I don't start the class. The class automatically starts on its own. I'm not pushing any buttons. So when it counts down for the class time to start, it'll go bloop, and it'll start itself. And if you're not there, I think they give you 2 minutes grace period to get in there, or 3, I think, 2 minutes maybe. 2 or 3, I can't remember, but it used to be 5. And I remember people, when they reduced it to 2 or 3, they were storming and everything, and I was like, you shouldn't be late anyway. That's kind of, you can't complain about that. You know, they're paying for a class and you're showing up late. 5 minutes for 25-minute class is significant. Okay, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Right here. Hello. How are you? I'm doing fairly well. It's been a good evening here today. Good. What is your name? Oh, hey, very nice to meet you. My name is Jason. Good, good. Would you like to introduce yourself, or would you like for me to go first? Okay. Yeah. Mhm. Oh. Yeah. Well, good. I'm glad. That does sound like a lot of fun. I think going to the science and technology center like that. Wow. Maybe I will go too. I said, well, very nice to meet you. Very nice. Well, my name is Jason. I live in the United States of America. In particular, I live in the state of West Virginia. It's on the east side of the country. Um, there is a popular song called Country Roads. You know, country roads take me home to the place. And so most people have heard that, and that song is about my home state, you know, the mountains and the trees. And I live in a very countryside type area. And I work full time as a university professor. And then, yeah, well, I'm single with no children, so I have a lot of free time on my hands, and so I use it here. So during part time, I do DMM, or I work for other companies teaching English as well sometimes. I like taking road trips by car to visit different places in the country. And I also like trying different local foods, different restaurants. I used to like cooking, but I don't do so much cooking anymore. But I find myself watching TV on YouTube and Netflix. So. Well, I don't. I just go to a restaurant or order food. Like today, I went to a Mexican restaurant and got tacos and brought them home. It's just, yeah, yeah, yeah. So my refrigerator looks like takeout from different restaurant leftovers. So yeah, that's the bachelor life: milk, soda, and takeout. Bunch of bad foods. Awesome. So very nice to meet you. What would you like for us to do today? good. Let me get my timer ready. So I know sometimes I have a timer for some. Oh, there, my clock. Here it is. I always forget how to do this sometimes. Okay, so we will move to the first exercise. It looks like you've done these already, like before. So you know the process for these. Oh, good. So I'll first play the audio and then tell you when it's time to prepare. Are you ready? Okay, I'll go ahead and push audio. You can probably push it there too. Okay, so I will start the timer for 15 seconds. Ready? Okay, go ahead and start. Go ahead, prepare. Oh, there is the 15 seconds. Oops, stop. Okay, sometimes I forget how to stop it. Okay, so we put 45 seconds for your response time. Okay, right, ready? Go ahead and start. Go ahead. Oh, well, you did very good, very good. Oh, I started mine too. I had two timers. All right, that was very good. I thought it was very organized. One of the better ones I've heard. And so you were very organized. I like that you listed different things. I will put the example response in the chat for you. Okay, this is the first one about at their homes, and this yours would probably be this long too if it was written out. I feel like because you had a lot to say, and this is the other response for if they go to other places. They're very similar, but I feel like yours would have been very close to this too, because you had a lot to say. You were organized, and I like that you gave a list. First this, then this, then this, and then you did disadvantages. These are disadvantages like that. It was organized, not jumbled up. I've heard people go first, and I always feel so sorry. I feel so bad when they do that. It's very stressful. But you were confident and great. So, any questions about this one? Actually, no. I thought this one went very. I kept listening closely just in case because you were doing so well. But I didn't notice any grammatical errors. There was one, but you corrected it. I think you stopped and corrected yourself. I can't remember what that one was. But if there's one, I mean, you corrected it and went back and resaid the sentence correctly. So this was good. I think I'm about to get more picky with the next one, and listen closely for more. Okay, so the next one here says give 50 seconds to read this text and then play the audio. Okay. Okay, go ahead. Okay, good. Yeah, go ahead. I'm going to start mine too. Go ahead. Good. All right, so 30-second preparation time. You're ready. Go ahead. Okay. My pen ready. Go ahead. Oh, good, very good. There were just a few little things here. When you first started out, you said the school announced that the school announced to open an office, oh, but it should be that they will open, maybe like that, so that they will open because it's a group like that. Or it could have been the school announced. Well, no, that would be best. They will open an off-campus housing facility. That was all good. And when the students who were scammed, and you say the students who are usually young students, the students who were usually younger. Instead of is, say are, because there's more than one. Yeah, just remember that the is and are's there need to be different there. But other than that, everything else is great. Those are very, very picky little things. And correct. That's good. And to only get all of that in a minute, that takes a lot. And I think even I look at this test every time I see this, and here's the example there. And I think about how would a native person score on this, because that's a lot of information in just a little bit of time. And you have to really quickly go over what's important and what's not important. That's very difficult. No matter if it's your native language or not. Even if this was in Japanese, you would have to real quick. So it's difficult either way, no matter what level you are. Okay, so we'll do the next ones in the same thing here. You have 50 seconds to read about global cooling. Okay. Finish right on time every time. Okay. Okay. All right. 30 seconds here. Okay. Mhm. That 30 seconds goes so fast. Okay, so whenever you're ready. Mhm. Okay, very good. It's like, get it all out. It's a lot to get out. There's just a few small things here. Just make sure you use past tense, like this ash prevent, and so make sure you put prevented. This ash prevented, yeah. And then and this is remembering to put articles, and then the crops, the crops done like that. And one is just like a minor pronunciation error, but I think it's because you had to go real fast. I thought you said virus, and I think you meant to say various. but what I think I think this one probably wasn't your fault, but where it's so fast, it sounded like you said it was caused by a virus. I was like, oh. I was like, I hope not. Wow. And so that's again, that could be from having to give a lot of information in such a short amount of time. The pronunciation got squished into virus instead of various. But very good though. That's very good though. But I understood what you were saying, so it's okay. I knew it wasn't a virus, so it's okay. Okay, so any questions about these past two exercises? Yeah. Again, continue being organized. I think you're good with making lists. Is that what you like to do, like a list of things? And it seems like that's what they want as well. They want, let me go ahead and put this thing while I'm talking. They like to have a list of things that they talked about first, last, then. And that's what I would stick with sequential words like that, is what they have. But this one I don't think needed that. Yeah, they did. They used first, and they used then in there, and using those kind of words because they seem to like those words when they go through the examples. First, then, next, last. So they seem to prefer that. I've noticed when I've read all the different examples. I have a friend. She works for this company, the TOEFL company, and so I should ask her what they look for. So, what do y'all want? Do I recommend this? Like where they talk? I would because it sounds more like it's again you're very organized. This is just a step up from that. I get opening, body, conclusion, and so they're doing it that way to make it look more prepared and organized that way as well. You're very organized. This is just a notch up, I think, to being excellent for that. Yeah, the year after that happened, and again, it's hard to get all of that in 60 seconds. Blah, 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 speed read. So, okay, I think we have time for one more here, maybe. Okay, well, of course, of course. Go ahead. That's a longer one. Okay. So we use those points to talk about 2 benefits that are provided by commuter trains. Okay, so we have, I think we have some time if you want to quit. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Very good, very good, very good. I'm going to put the example here. You did much better with the grammar in this one as well. Just a few things, just remember, just put articles, and sometimes they were either plural or singular, forget like suburbs, putting the S on suburbs, like that. Yeah, like that. Everything else was great. So awesome. We got in. Thank you very much for being me, or choosing me today. I see you next time. Bye bye. Bye bye. Oh, so that was good. He was actually when I said that a lot of the TOEFL students are college students, he is 51, so he's trying to prepare for that. And during those moments when he was preparing or he was listening to the recording, I was working on feedback and putting things into his the notes about him. So I already have that there. So now I can push submit. And I gave him some extra time because he has that one last one left. And so I'll let the class go over some so we can get that in. You can tell he's really interested in improving his English. So I didn't want to just 25 minutes just cut him off. That'd have been really rude of me like that. Okay, here's the last one. He's a male, 47. He wants to do daily news. Oh, this one must have changed because the other one was something else. Tucker, I don't know if I've ever had him before. Was that the one that was here earlier? And sometimes they will change like that. Okay. As long as they cancel within 15 minutes of class time, and if it's not 15 minutes, then that class dies and becomes closed off. So there's a lot of switching that goes on with this too. So they always tell you to not prepare too well in advance because I had a previous student was already signed up for this class when I had opened it up. I checked about 2 or 3 o'clock and he'd been there. And between now and then, since 2 o'clock to now, it's already switched out to another person because this is daily news. So maybe this one will be a typical daily news class. And he does have good attendance. So it looks like he will be here in a minute and a half. Okay. When I say typical, usually a typical for me would be, you'll hear me say, would you like to read on your own or would you like to repeat after me? A lot of mine will want to repeat after me, and you'll hear me say what's on there, and I'll get quiet because they're repeating it back to me like that, and I'm listening for that. If they're more advanced, it looks like he's had 1,794 lessons, so he may be ready to read on his own. So this one may say, I prefer to read on my own. But they don't. I've had some really good high-level speakers still prefer to, and they feel more comfortable repeating after the teacher. And this is another one who is fine with, okay, before the lesson starts, I would like to do self-introductions. It'll say that, or it'll say they want to skip one of those two. So, I got 2 likes. Thank you. I want the teacher to proactively correct my mistakes. Most of the time, they'll say that. Very rarely, I'll say rarely. I'd say about 10% of mine will say don't, or 5% of mine will say don't correct my mistakes. I just want to speak. I have some in the special marks, they'll say speak at native speed because they want to get familiar with listening to native speakers speaking at a normal speed like that. Don't slow down for them. So, 15 and 14, 13, 12. So this will be the last one I do today. I'll turn this off because I'm going to go do laundry. I'm sure you really want to care about that. All righty. All right, here I go. Hello. Good morning to you. How are you today? I'm doing fairly well too. Again, it's been a good evening, so it'll be kind of relaxing. So no work today, hardly, except for helping with the MM today. Would you like to introduce yourself, or would you like for me to go first? Oh, go for it, of course. I like to sometimes type as I talk here. My name is Jason. I live in the United States of America. In particular, I live in the state of West Virginia on the east side of the country. There is a popular song called Country Roads. Or Country Roads, Take Me Home. Yeah, that song is about my state of West Virginia. So, yeah, West Virginia. And so I work full time as a university professor and then part time with English companies like DMM. In my free time, I like being at home watching YouTube. I like cooking, going out to eat sometimes, and I often like taking road trips by car to visit different places throughout the country. So, and that's about me. So tell me about you. Oh, I work in the education department, and so my students at the university are wanting to become teachers. So I'm training them to do that. I teach like educational psychology. I teach them how to work with students with disabilities and different strategies like that. Uh, my pleasure. Okay. Me too. I have a lot of COVID weight on my body. I'm very like I've gotten much bigger than I used to be, and I need to go exercise, but I haven't. So I'll just tell people. I tell people I pretend I'm happy to be fat. So you want to ask a question? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I said, yeah. I always tell people I added COVID weight, and yeah, I totally call it COVID. I said, this is COVID weight. So it's not my fault. It's COVID's fault. So, awesome. So I see you've chosen a really good article. I was hoping someone would choose this one. Good. Google Translate to add. Okay. So do you prefer to read on your own or do you prefer to read after me? Okay, perfect, perfect. And would you like for us to start with the vocabulary? Okay, let's skip it. Okay, we'll go to the article and exercise 2. Are you ready? Okay, so Google Translate adds 24 languages, including Quechua. Quechua. Okay. About 10 million people speak Quechua, but trying to automatically translate text into the most widely spoken indigenous language family in the Americas has been nearly impossible. Hmm. That changed on May 11 when Google added 24 languages, including Quechua, to Google Translate. The company says it has been able to expand its range of languages thanks to new artificial intelligence AI technology. Good. The technology works by training an AI system in about 100 data-rich languages. The system then applies what it has learned to hundreds of other languages it doesn't know. Imagine if you're some big polyglot and then you just start reading novels in another language. You can start to piece together what it could mean based on your knowledge of language in general. Google research scientist Isaac Caswell explained. Good, good, good. Other new languages added to Google Translate include smaller languages like Mizo, spoken in northeastern India by about 800,000 people, and more widely used languages such as Lingala, spoken by around 45 million people across Central Africa. Google said its products now support 133 languages. In its announcement, Google said that the quality of translations in the newly added languages is not as good as other languages it supports. However, the company only added languages if its AI systems met a certain performance standard, Caswell said. The added languages won't yet be understood by Google's voice assistant, and the company said it is working on adding speech recognition and other features. Good, good. Google's decision to add Quechua is a victory for language activists like Louis Italki, who created the website Kikwa, Kikwa 2.0, which includes dictionaries and resources for learning Quechua. Mhm. Ilanki, who is from Peru, said having Quechua in Google Translate will help give it the same status as Spanish and help keep it alive with the next generation. Good, good, good. Quechua was the lingua franca of the Incan Empire, which stretched from what is now southern Colombia to central Chile. After the Spanish invaded Peru more than 400 years ago, Quechua was spoken less and less. Mhm, mhm. Good, good. Any questions about anything in this article? Let's see here. It's impossible. Yes. Okay, but try to automatically translate the text into most white language in the Americas. Okay, so trying to about these people, but trying to automatically translate. This is one of those has been um, trying to translate is like is the subject, even though that looks like it's a verb that it's a noun that looks like a verb. So trying the act of trying is sometimes we call those gerunds. I think those are called. Yeah, it's a form of a verb that it's a verb that functions as a noun, and we call those gerunds like that. And so sometimes that happens, like the trying is the that's so that would be the subject when a verb looks like a noun. That right there, that means like the indigenous language. Well, this is like probably before Spanish made it to that area of the Americas. So indigenous language for that, yeah. In Yeah, it would be difficult, but now that they had added that to Google Translate will do that for them to Spanish, to English, to Portuguese, maybe Japanese too. It's whatever language, yeah, whatever you need to do it now. So now it's a part of Google Translate. I've never heard of that language, but Translate. I've never heard of that language to be on there, but who am I to? Let me see if it's on there. QUA. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, you can. It's on Google Translate's website, so you can translate it to whatever you want to here. So if I put hello, it's showing um, in Quechua. It says that is hello. Okay, there it is. I don't know if that says so. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So yeah, now you can go on Google Translate and translate to that language with whatever language you want. Well, awesome. So any other questions about this article? Oh, okay, okay. So what are your thoughts on Google adding these 24 languages to Google Translate? Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. So yeah, it looks like they've expanded to all these languages here, and some of these languages I've never heard of. And so now you can translate among these languages thanks to Google. And they are getting better with Google Translate. I don't trust them fully, but they're getting much better, much better, of course. And like you said, it's a very historical language, and I like how they said, look, thanks to Google, it's not going to be a lost language. It's going to be preserved for generations like that. Do you ever use Google Translate? Yeah. I use it a lot for Spanish. Yeah. Yeah. Um, my mother is Mexican, and so, she's a native Spanish speaker, but I'm not because I grew up here in West Virginia. But so I use Spanish sometimes when I want to communicate with Spanish-speaking people. Do that. It helps a lot. So, how accurate do you find Google Translate to be? Yeah. Well, to be like when you use it, it could be in the future. Like if you when you use Google Translate, do you find it to be very accurate? Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I also use it for Chinese because I teach for a Chinese company as well, and so that sometimes I have a friend. He lives in Beijing, so I use him as my translator because sometimes it translates to offensive things that I don't want to say to people. So I use him to. So, what would you say are the most difficult things about translating between Japanese to English, or your native language, or to English? Hmm. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Hmm. Yes. I agree. And we use it, especially I know in English and Spanish, they use a lot of gender-based words, and so sometimes some languages do, some don't. So sometimes I've had Spanish people refer to me as she. I went, no, I'm a he, not he. And so sometimes the translators mix those up, she and he and all that. I see that often. And sometimes they call people it. And it's like, no, not he. I'm a person, he. So do you think you'd enjoy working as a translator? Mhm. I've seen that too on YouTube, how they do it. And I've seen like people who are human translators and how they do their work. It's very, very complicated. That I just realized I would never do this in my life. It's a lot of work. Now, and I have friends who are interpreters, who are sign language interpreters, and it's a lot of work. Sign language interpreters, sign language, sign language interpreters, like that. Sometimes they call them interpreter. Yeah, yeah. So sign language. I have friends who are that, and I learned sign language as well, but not enough to be an interpreter. But and it's very difficult. It's very exhausting. It takes breaks. What do you imagine machine translation will be like 50 years from now? Mhm. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Mhm. And it's very difficult because language changes quickly. Yeah, Japanese changes over the years, English changes over the years, so it's hard to keep up with that. And I think smarter AI would do that. Have you ever seen like the earpieces you can buy, and then when someone speaks, then a robot speaks that language in your ear? Have you ever seen those advertised? Yeah, I did. Yeah, I've never used it either. No. Mm. Oh, yeah, I need that too. When I listen to native Spanish speakers, they go really fast, and so I'm like, oh, even my family goes too fast for me. So, do you know anyone who is a polyglot? Mm. Oh, good. I tried taking Chinese lessons. I didn't do very well. I learned I learned ni hao, but I've passed that. But I can do Spanish and sign language. That's all. Yes, yeah, English. Oh no, well Mandarin, I can tell you hello. Ni hao, ni hao. That's all. And I'm konnichiwa. And that's all. That's all I can do. So, what do you think? What do you say is the best thing about knowing two languages, being bilingual? Hmm. Hmm. I agree. Yeah, because you forget a lot. I do. I forget if I don't use it, and I never get to use Spanish around any of my friends or coworkers. So, what languages would you like to be fluent in? Hmm. And you will be. I think you're doing very well with it as well. So, awesome. Do you have any questions for me? Awesome. Well, it's very good to meet you, and you have a wonderful day. Thank you. You too. Bye. And that's that. He didn't have his camera on, so I didn't mind you seeing the screen. So um, you can tell you just woke up. I think. And this was one you saw where I repeated the article. He skipped the vocabulary because usually sometimes they'll say, let's do the vocabulary, we'll repeat all that. But this time he skipped it, which is fine. So, all right, I'm going to do the feedback for this one, but this was just giving you a look. It wasn't really a very good look. This wasn't a very good example of an Engoo thing. I don't do very many. I'm not a full-time Engoo person. I know some people do like 10 to 20 classes a day. I used to do 15, or I did that, or sometimes I do 10. Now I do like 6 at most a day. I need to do more. And the first two, actually the first 3, you probably saw me just sitting there a lot. And this was one you probably see me do with the most talking. So, you can tell it's not, I didn't have any children today either. And that has a whole different thing when there's children that come and do this. And with this one, there's no certifying in different fields, but you don't have to do that. But you can have any student, anybody in Engoo, no matter their age, what activity they want to do. So there's no restricting yourself for that. If there's a student and they want to book you, they can book you. Alrighty, thank you very much for watching, and I hope this was. I don't feel like this is very helpful. This is probably a poorly one. Maybe I'll do another one some other time. But bye bye.